Hey everyone, it's time for this month's Your Film Reviews series, and thank you to everybody who has requested and suggested films for me to do for this series. I have 6 today to talk about, and it's going to be a pretty positive video, and every film was interesting, at least. The first one is What We Did on Our Holiday, suggested by Seriously Sassy. Thank you so much. I love David Tennant, and I just think this was brilliant. Billy Connolly was fantastic. The 3 children that drive this story forward make this hilarious. The fact that it's set largely in the Highlands means the scenery is beautiful. I'm from Aberdeen, which is relatively close to the Highlands, so I was a little bit homesick, but David Tennant is beautiful and he has his own accent, and if you're looking for a very lovely feel-good comedy that actually has quite a strong message about life and how we should live it, you definitely need to watch this, and you know, David Tennant is perfect. The next film is The Young Victoria. This was suggested by Alex Goldsmith. Thank you very much for suggesting this. I'd never seen a film purely about Victoria before, Queen Victoria, but I'd often seen her as a character in other films, and I think the way she's often portrayed is quite, not negative, but it's got quite a melancholic approach to it, and this is not the case in this film. I think it really goes into the heart of her young life and how she grew into the queen that she became. And it is a very emotional film. I think it's very well done. I would definitely say the costumes in this are one of my favourite things. They're just beautiful. But if you're looking for a film about Queen Victoria, I would definitely recommend this one, as I think it really opens up the character a lot more than what other similar films perhaps do. D Parish 24, I want to both thank you and scold you at the same time for requesting that I talk about Oculus. I've never been so in love with a film and so scared of a film at the same time. Oculus stars Karen Gillan, and that was one of the main reasons why I really jumped on watching this one as soon as possible. And it's about a mirror that has great control over this house, and that for me was a really kind of driving force with watching this as well, because usually when you have thrillers there is a creature or a spirit or another person that is the threat, but with this it is an inanimate object, and that is great. And the way it intertwines timelines of these characters really messes with the mind, and there are a lot of times where I'm like, what's just happened? But in the best possible way. And the ending, and I won't say what it is, for me it was so shocking. Not what I expected, and there was a time as well when I was watching it and somebody knocked at the door, and I have never jumped out of my seat. You know, people say, oh, I got such a fright, I jumped. Literally jumped off of the sofa. It's so scary. It really gets into the head and messes with the mind. And if you're looking for something to watch on your own in the dark and terrify yourself with, it's gonna be Oculus. The next film is A Clockwork Orange, which was suggested by Nigel W. And out of all the films in this video, this is probably the one I enjoyed the least, but it was still good. It's a very controversial film. A gang of guys are obsessed with, you know, crime and the erotica, quite frankly, and vulgarity, and you know, they're just very horrible people, and then one of them gets caught, and this character goes through this whole process of trying to change who he is because of various government tactics that gets inside his head and basically messes with his thought process. And it sounds like a really positive thing, you know, all the government are trying to help people rather than just slamming them in cells. But at the same time, the way it's done is really uncomfortable to watch. Now, on the one hand, that makes it a fantastic film because it really does affect the emotions, it really makes you think, and it's really disturbing. From start to finish, every aspect of this film is disturbing. What makes it great in one sense is the fact that I'm often feeling sorry for one character and the next minute I hate them, and then the next minute I'm feeling sorry for them again, and vice versa. But for me, the ending made this a little bit, right, it's kind of lost the message here, and for me there's this whole thing of what is the actual message the film's trying to put across. If I'd stopped it maybe 20 minutes before the end, I would have thought, yeah, that was heartbreaking for all the right reasons, and I really sided with the character I felt I should be siding with, but then it ended, and I thought, right, I can see 100% why this is controversial. It's just a very odd film, and I'm so glad I've seen it, because it's one of those films that I think everybody should watch and should have an opinion about, but it's one of those films that I think, be careful when you watch it, go in with an open mind, but make sure you are comfortable with having your own opinions, because I think it could influence somebody a lot in the wrong way. And the last film is Non-Stop, starring Liam Neeson, and this was suggested by Queen Helena BC and Ben Willits. And I didn't think I would enjoy this. I didn't think I enjoyed action films, and then I watched this and thought, right, I need to watch a million other action films. A plane is being held hostage by an unknown person. He is texting messages and basically saying, I want money by this certain time or people are going to be killed, one every hour. And it sounds cliche, but for some reason I just think, no, this has something different about it. There's a spark, and I don't know if it's the characters. I know Liam Neeson's character is really quite likeable. There was a moment where I thought, should I be liking you? Should I be siding with you? But I'm quite happy with the decisions that I made. Also, I didn't work out who the culprit was at all. Even when the culprit was revealed, I thought, hang on, is this a red herring? Are we going, you know, we're barking up the wrong tree? It's brilliant. Definitely recommend it to everybody. Thank you to Queen Helena BC and Ben Willits for pushing me to watch this. It was truly phenomenal. As always, please feel free to leave suggestions for my next video in the comments below this. Be as adventurous as you want with suggestions. I'm open to watching anything at least once. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!